Hi everyone and welcome to Season 3, Episode 9 of From Hope to Glory at Truro City with me, the United City FM. Welcome along. So it's the first round of our playoffs in the Vanarama National League today. We finished the league season, we finished in 4th position, got us into the playoffs, and today we played Torquay, who finished in 7th position, 8 points behind us. But we won our home game against them in the domestic season. They beat us away from home. Today we are at home. It's not going to be a foregone conclusion though. Let's see how we get on. So I played through the last couple of games of the season, Darlington and Sutton. We got a 4-2 win over Darlington. We lost to Sutton, but we rotated the squad completely for that game. So that's kind of why. But that's okay. We finished in 4th position, which is where we kind of thought we were going to for quite some time. And Torquay just leapfrogged Leyton Orient in the last couple of games of the season to claim that last playoff position. So it is Torquay versus Truro City. Sutton versus Solihull Moors has already happened, and Sutton have gone through in that particular tie. The winner of each of these two ties plays one of Scunthorpe and Chesterfield to then potentially get into a final. It's a long drawn out playoff process, and there is absolutely no foregone conclusion about us getting this. Chesterfield specifically really were quite unlucky not to go up automatically, I would suggest. So they're going to be tricky if we get to them. Anyway, today is all about Torquay. Fingers crossed, everyone. We're going to need it, I think. So we do have a couple of injury issues, one or two that aren't so impactful, one that potentially could be. So Chanel is one of our central defensive options, and he's out for the next few days, having already been out for the last week or so. So he's not around. Kian Yari, he's not quite fit to be able to play, but he wouldn't have anyway. He's only a periphery player. And the one that might make the difference is Mundell. Normally plays in our Metzala support role, and today Casey Petit is having to come in and do that role for us because Mundell is still a little bit short of match fitness. So I don't want to risk him at this point. Hopefully we'll get through today and he can have an impact on the playoffs as we move on. But that's the only major change. The only other question to answer really is always at this point, which of our two strikers do we use, Charlie Ball or Andrew Neil? And today it's Charlie Ball. So for Torquay in the playoffs, the team for today's match is Roberts in goal, Morgan at right back, Rounsfell at left back, Kazoo and Doyle in central defence, Early, Petit and Harvey in central midfield, Knowles on the right, Salam on the left and Ball up top, with a bench of Stavrou, Jones, Silla, Duke McKenna and Neil. So let's get into today's game and see what happens. So because it's a big occasion, I kind of hoped that I would be able to just calm them down a little bit, and mostly, to be honest, it seems to have worked. I've got a composed response from telling them with outstretched arms that the media have been praising you lately, but don't make that put the pressure on the performance. Go out there, play your game, and let's see what we can do. So we go in with our asymmetric formation, shall I say, couldn't get my words out, in the vertical tiki-taka style. Torquay come in with a top 4-2-3-1. We can always change to our counter-attacking style if we need to in the 4-2-3-1, but just at the moment, because we're at home, it's worth trying to actually outplay them. And look at the crowd. It suggested in the media that we would get a sellout today, and it looks like we have. The question has been then really is, where have they been all season before we get to this point? Anyway, Nelson threw on goal, and a very early goal for Torquay. It was a good move down the left-hand side, a ball through on the left-hand side of the penalty area. Nelson gets through on goal and slots it in at that near post. A little bit disappointing from the goalkeeper there, really. Long ball over the top, gets onto it very nicely. Obviously got a bit of pace about him, gets through onto the keeper, and pile drives it into the back of the net, and Roberts doesn't even get a chance to move. And we go 1-0 down very early. Roberts has just signed a new loan deal for next season as well, just so you know. So whichever division we're in for next season, he'll be at least fighting for a goalkeeping position. Again, it's Nelson at the near post as we look at it. We've managed to push them back to the edge of the box, but actually it doesn't do us any good whatsoever, and immediately we're going to go in and change this up. It's not good enough, not a good enough start. We're going to go back into the 4-2-3-1, the counter-attacking style, and just see on this occasion whether we can get anything from this first half specifically. As soon as the highlight comes and goes, we're going to be going in and doing a shout at least. But the cross comes in, we do pretty well defensively, just to push them back a little bit. But then, unfortunately, we give Armstrong enough time on the edge of the box, left-footed, to slot that ball home in the far corner. And Roberts again flailing. So in we go, and we've got to fire them up now. Can't do anything more. Got to go full ball. We're going to go from balanced into attacking. And we're just going to see what we can do for the next few minutes leading up to half-time before maybe rethinking completely. But it's been very, very poor. Only one shot at goal from us. It was on target, but not good enough. We had enough possession, but we didn't do anything with it at all. Roberts on the ball in the goal kick, in the sort of free kick position in the goal kick area. The penalty area. Again, though, it's Torquay that come back at us. And again, we're having to do absolutely everything that we can to just clear our lines. I'm a bit kind of flustered by the start, if I'm honest. I wasn't expecting this at all. And again, they go over the top. Doyle gets pushed out, and this time it's Roberts that comes to the rescue. For goodness sake, we're going back in on the shouts again and demanding more from them for the last 5 minutes of this first half. But it's another opportunity for Torquay down that right-hand side from... Oh, we were so lucky from the corner kick. Came into this near post as we were looking at it. Good chance at goal. And eventually we scramble it clear. But this has been absolutely dreadful considering how well the season has gone. So, right in, throw the water bottle. Far from pleased with it. I don't care whether they're demotivated. They needed to know that it wasn't good enough. And then we're going to go back in again. And we're going to fire them up again for the beginning of this second half. And it's Torquay that really have completely got us on the ropes, isn't it? Again, they pick up the loose ball, this time in the fullback area, send it back to their defenders to reset themselves. They're playing their game so well. Whitfield down the left-hand side cuts in, has a go right-footed over the top of the bar. We are just not getting any of our chances at all. We're not getting the ball through on goal even. 58, 59 minutes gone. We're going to have to do something a little bit drastic, I think. And so we're going to go in and potentially we're going to go into our third setup, which is the custom wing play with a 4-4-2, two up top. I just need to make sure that everybody's in their right positions. We're going to have to take Harvey out and put Neil in. I've always wanted to see what it's going to be like to play Neil and Ball up front together. We don't get that chance very often, but today we do. Which way around we're going to do it? We're going to put them... he's going to go on a poacher. We're going to change Charlie Ball, I think, and just put him as the advanced forward and see what that does. We're going to have to make a couple of personnel changes in a minute as well, I think. But we'll just leave it for now, just for the next sort of 10 minutes or so, to see whether the change of style of play helps us in any way get through on goal. It's not really. Still only 3 shots at goal. Coming up on the sort of 15-minute mark left, Roberts with the long ball, and Ball is underneath it, and the defender messes it up. Ball gets released into the box, and then pushed a little bit wide, a little bit uncontrolled in how he approached that, I would suggest. And again, we're still not quite doing what I need us to do. So we've made the one change already. I think we're going to have to make a couple more. Knowles on a 6.1. There's a couple of 6.1s down the right-hand side. Both of them are going to have to come off. Duke McKenna comes on and Morgan comes out and Aaron Jones comes on down that right-hand side just to see if we can get anything from these last 15 minutes of the game. This season has been absolutely magnificent, far beyond my expectations. So I guess if ever we do go out of the playoffs and don't win it, then I guess we can't be too disappointed. But what I am disappointed by so far is just the general level of play. And again, we lose it. And again, Torquay counter-attack really quickly. Whitfield into the penalty box, drops it back again. And there is another goal. And we are absolutely done. There is nothing else we can do. 3-0 down, 10 minutes to go. I've tried 3 different formations, 3 different styles of play, and today is just not our day. One game too far, it felt like, and potentially we're going to be slightly embarrassed by this scoreline, it feels like. Having said that, you know, we do have to keep the perspective, don't we? It's been magnificent this season. We do look as though we're going to stay in the Vanarama National League. I don't think that's a terrible thing, if I'm totally honest. I think that we can still do some more to improve this squad for moving up into the Football League. Ball nips in and takes the football then, but again loses out really, really quickly. And Torquay have just been absolutely magnificent. Again, we regain possession but lose it too quickly. And we're not using the wide areas as much as I want to in this particular formation and style of play. Now we are down the left-hand side. Petit on the ball. Mundell's been a big miss, hasn't he, as the Metsala? But then maybe not. Casey Petit... Is that just a consolation goal or is that start of a comeback? We'll call it a consolation goal for now, but we'll just keep an eye on it because that was a really good strike from Petit. Took over the ball from Salam, drifts past a defender, opens up the space a little bit and then just blasts it in the back of the net. And we go 3-1 with 5 minutes left to go. Can we get one more chance to put the pressure on them? It looks like we can't. Humph. Well, yeah, that wasn't quite what we were expecting, I would think. We finished 8 points clear of Torquay. As I say, we beat them at home in the domestic season. We lost to them away, so it was never going to be an easy game. You wouldn't expect it to be easy. But what I would have expected is just that our players maybe just show up a little bit. Maybe I got the team talk wrong at the beginning. Maybe I got the tactics wrong. Maybe I got the formation wrong. All of those kinds of things are perfectly legitimate thoughts. But in the end, it just felt like they didn't show up to play, especially for that first half. So sometimes you can learn lots more about your setup when you're not doing so well, when you're losing compared to when you're winning. And there's lots that I'm sure we can learn today. I'm not quite sure what it is that I'm looking for. But we need to go and have a look and analyse the performance. So let's look at the stats to start off with. Now, Torquay were rampant for most of the game and played really well. That's the first thing to say. They got a 1.77 XG rating, expected goals, and they got 3 goals from it. So they did really well with the chances created. We only got a 0.65 XG rating. So the 6 shots on target out of our 9 shots on goal in total didn't quite provide the quality of chance potentially to actually get us the goals that we needed, and therefore we only got 1. Possession was all right. We were up on possession by the end of the first half because of the style of play we employed for most of that. Passing completion wasn't particularly great. There was a lot where we were just giving the ball away really, really quickly. Yeah, a bit frustrated by the statistics of the match. We did come into it and create more chances in the second half. We were only like 1 or 2 chances in the first. So we did better in the second half, but by that time we were just fighting a losing battle, it felt like. The ratings for the players themselves, Kazoo with a 5.8, sorry, not even a 6.8, 5.8 is fairly dreadful. Ball with a 6 average rating. We had to take off Harvey, who'd only got like a 6.3. Both right-sided players both had a 6.1. It just wasn't good enough, was it? It just was dreadful in a lot of ways. And whilst it is okay, whilst I maintain we probably need another season at this level, it is absolutely fine. It's just so frustrating when you think that there's so much more in your side on a given day than they were absolutely able to show. But there we go. You can see the XG ratings there. You can see the chances that we created. We did create a fair amount just on this left-hand side of the 6-yard box. But you can see that pretty much all of them, I think, were saved by the goalkeeper, which, fair play to him. That's just, that's what he's there to do. We had a couple of missed chances. And then on the edge of the box, we got Casey Petit with his brilliant strike for a bit of a consolation goal. We had plenty of midfield possession, which is fine if you're going to do something with it. But we didn't do anything with it in that first half. And there's that spread of chances for Torquay. Lots more than we were able to create. And they did pretty well with theirs, really. I don't think I'm going to go any further in analysing the performance today. I think we'll just understand that there's a couple of players down the right-hand side, up front, in defence, central midfield with Harvey that just didn't play. They didn't get a decent rating. They weren't at the races today at all. Torquay in that first half were so clinical with the bits that they had. Fair play to them. 11 minutes in, we were 2-0 down, and it was done by that point, really. And we don't get promoted. We don't go through in the playoffs even. We go out at the first opportunity and back into the Vanarama National League for next season. So, before we talk specifically about what's coming next and what's happening for next season, let's just look at this a little bit and be really, really proud about what we managed to achieve. We played 45 games. It's not 45 matches, it's 44. Quite why that says 45, I don't know. Anyway, 44 matches in the Vanarama National League. We scored 74 goals. 5th best in the division. We conceded 55, 6th best in the division. So that's how we got into the playoffs. Yellow cards, not too bad. Red cards, we only got 1 all season. That's pretty decent. We weren't particularly great in terms of our average attendance, but remember, we got 2 promotions back to back to get here. So this is a small club still trying to find our feet and still trying to get bigger. Unfortunately, when everybody showed up for a home stadium sellout like it was on the playoff match, we didn't really do very well, did we? So hopefully some of those will be back next season and we can up this average attendance rating a little bit. But overall, we need to do a darn sight better than we did in today's match to attract the crowds in, don't we? Finances are not great. I suspect that we're going to get a little bit of help from the board on that one, from our potential sugar daddy owner that we've somehow managed to get. But we'll have to wait and see exactly what that looks like for next season. Again, it will be a season of bargain hunting, not really spending too much money. As long as the wage budget stays roughly where it is, we can work with that. But having said that, the wage structure is too high for the income that we're having. So maybe we need to dip that down and play a little bit more financially solid. But we'll have to see about that over the summer as to what's available to me to upgrade the squad, etc. In terms of the individual players, there were a couple of standouts, weren't there? Charlie Ball, 24 goals, which was fantastic for his debut season for us. Callum Doyle, he got a 7.42 average rating, which is our highest, and was brilliant in central defence for us all season long. But we are not going to hold on to him. I'm telling you now, we're not. Somehow it's gonna go. He's wanted by 12 clubs as high as like the Championship, I think. So we are going to struggle really badly to keep him. I'm going to try, but ultimately we made promises to some of these players to get them in the first place, that they can use us as a stepping stone given the right opportunities. And I suspect the right opportunity will come up for him. But we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully he'll be here next season. Who knows? Most of these players, though, that we've been using regularly this season, if we change it and look at our first 11 from today's game, there's only a couple in there. Knowles, who's on loan and we haven't been able to sort anything out for him, and Petit, who played today, that aren't on contracts for next season. There are a couple lower down that haven't got the contract sorted yet, and some of those will be leaving. But most of this first 11 are absolutely tied in, at least till 2024, and some till 2025. So we do have a little bit of a good soundboard, really, to move this squad on, I hope. but we're just going to have to see how it all works out in the summer. Let's just reshape that again how I like it. So that's the squad that we've got. We'll have to see how that looks in terms of coming back next season. But what's going to happen next? So I asked a couple of days ago whether people wanted a second series on the channel. I've only got 5 days in which I can record just at the moment, for various circumstances. My wife is working from home, etc. That just conflicts with the schedules that we keep. So I've got 5 slots to record. At the moment, we've put all 5 into Truro. From next week onwards, we are going to change that, and we're going to be playing Truro Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Tuesday, Thursday, we're going to have a second series on the channel. And whilst we're in the lower levels of the English system of football, next week we're going to start a high-level PSG series. It's going to be PSG Pain Purge, I've called it, and it's all going to be focused on the Champions League. We're going to be playing just Champions League games, and we're giving ourselves 3 seasons to win the Champions League with PSG. Doesn't sound that difficult necessarily, but there is a reason why PSG in real terms haven't been able to do it. So we're going to try and change that. So Tuesday, Thursday next week, that's going to start, and we're going to give ourselves 3 seasons to see if we can get PSG the Champions League. So it will involve spending a bit of money compared to what we've got here and playing in a different set of competitions than we've got here, which I hope will bring balance to the channel and give lots of people an opportunity to come and find something they like. After the PSG series has come and gone, we'll be doing things like relegation rescues and reputation rebuilds like we've done before. Lots of short-term series, but Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right the way through to the end of this particular series, the Truro City From Hope to Glory, that's where you're now going to find it. In the immediate future, though, there's going to be a different sort of video tomorrow, just because I feel the need to create something slightly different. But come back tomorrow at 6:30 to find that one. That's Friday evening as we look at it. I'm then taking the weekend to sort this series out in terms of the closed season and figure out what to do with Truro. And then we'll be back on Monday to see what happens in a brand new season in the Vanarama National League. I hope all of that makes sense. If any of it's confusing to you at all, come and find me on Twitter and ask me, or come and find me in the Discord and ask me what's going on, and all of the links to that is in the description below. But basically that's going to do it for today, though. It wasn't the end of the season that we wanted, but maybe in the long run it's the end of the season that we needed, just to cement ourselves here and be able to move forward with a slightly better group of players. Let's see if we can find them over the summer. That's going to do it. Thank you for joining me. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and join my United City community. The more the merrier. Click that like button for me. Helps me get seen by lots of other people. Helps me know that you're invested in the content as well. Until next time, until next season for the Truro side, take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.